You are listening to the Business Leadership Podcast with Edwin Frondozo.
I'm Paul Newton, creative producer of this Future Narrator mini-series, and I'm joined by Edwin Frondozo, the host of the Business Leadership Podcast. We're recording live at Web Summit Vancouver 2025, and we're exploring how today's leaders shape the future, not just through strategy, but through story. We believe that strong points of view are what inspires community, builds movements, and cuts through the noise in uncertain times. So let's dive in. We got a special guest today. And today's guest is building AI that doesn't just watch video, it understands it. Soyoung Lee is co-founder of 12 Labs, a pioneering research and product company developing multimodal foundation models for video understanding. With a mission to make video as searchable and accessible as text, 12 Labs is helping developers embed deep visual context into real-world applications, from media and entertainment to security, education, and beyond. Born from a team of deep learning scientists and veterans of cybersecurity and retrieval systems, 12 Labs has quickly become a rising force in the AI space, earning top honors in international benchmarks and securing major investment to scale their vision. At the intersection of machine learning, creativity, and real-world impact, Soyoung is shaping how we interact with the world's most information-rich medium, video.
Welcome to the Business Leadership Podcast, Soyoung.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, how are you doing? How you experiencing? How are you feeling about Web Summit Vancouver?
It's awesome. It's actually very inspiring. Like the trends of what's being built is so fast changing and so creative. So it's actually very cool to see companies that are building with the latest, newest things that we're seeing in the AI landscape today.
Are you getting new ideas?
Always.
That's amazing. So I guess where we want to go is if you could let's just start by sharing, 12 Labs. If you could share what is the problem you are solving in the multimodal AI and video understanding?
So the real problem we're solving for is that video is really difficult to search for. So I think we're all very familiar with YouTube search, but YouTube search is really, you're searching across keywords and tags and descriptions that the original uploader has, done. So if you're trying to search across your own library of footage, which I'm sure each of us holds on to so many memories of like family, pets, personal communication, it could be, forms of like learning and education that we've stored. You have to actually watch it and tag it to be able to find moments in your lives. And so that's really the problem that we set out to solve, which is how do we make video more accessible? And video is very special because it's the most natural form and the most resonating form in which we communicate with each other as humans and tell stories and capture, the real world. That's the fundamental problem that we help solve. And then there's a plethora of business problems if we can get into that. But yeah.
I mean, you know what came to mind, Soyoung, as you were talking. I have a 2-year-old son, and my daughter's almost 9. But I have a lot of video from them. Like, if I don't remember where exactly, how to and tell me if I'm off track here. But if I remembered a moment, I could probably, working with you and 12 Labs, is I want to find that moment where Kobe did this. And then maybe through your contextual or understanding of video, I won't have to search for it. I mean, I won't have to spend skimming through all this video traditionally just to find that one moment. Is that the problem? Because that's a big problem for me right now.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
And if you think about content organizations or larger enterprise organizations, then you can translate that into metrics of what's the efficiency and opportunity gains that come from it. But deep down, it's really a personal problem of I remember 2 years ago, we were at SIGGRAPH and I tried eating fried cucumbers for the first time.
Those are good though.
They are good. But somebody on my team took a video of that. And so we actually, as a team, we store our team memories in our own service.
Yeah.
And so we almost use our own service to be able to search through our memories together as a team. But if you can do that beyond that and just, all the personal experiences and memories we're experiencing, how do you make that accessible for yourself, for your loved ones and so on? It's actually essentially the same problem.
Yeah, just as you go, and like I'm just geeking out right now. So stop me, but it's just like
Yeah.
we're getting into that world where everyone and everything is recording, right?
Okay.
And when glasses are recording everything, like there's moments that you may not even notice that are
Right.
happening anymore, or even doing this. And I could even just imagine some type of like contextual things that you could probably find. Hey, what happened today, and where did it happen? Where did I see something? Where did they do that type of stuff? So I'm sure you thought about all this stuff. It's just as I think about it and do that. So I'm curious, Soyoung, when it comes to that, you've been deep into this space now. You've been working with it. You've been working with different within sports and I want to in other industries, I'm sure. But what is the unique point of view that you bring to this problem now?
So traditionally, every organization that has a lot of video, whether it's security, whether it's manufacturing, automotive, and also, of course, media organizations, they've tried everything to analyze video. And it's not that the technologies were like so severely lacking. It's just such a complex problem because, real world is messy, but that's really well captured in video. And so if you need to do video understanding well, you need to understand sound, background sounds. You need to understand dialogue and semantics of language, visual information. But most importantly, you also have to connect all the dots across how things are changing over time. So that requires an understanding of temporal context and narrative. So that was really our unique, perspective when we first started 4.5 years ago. What's a unique model architecture and unique way in which the AI itself can almost create this human-like understanding of video and be able to scale that across vast amounts of data and then enable other product builders that are building really cool applications. They're building cool, incredible workflows internally within their orgs. To power their set of creative activities or experiences.
Okay. Well, this is really, it's really fascinating because, you come from like this background of just tech and just you're a deep learning scientist and security. But now we're talking about all these different things about like the semantics and the narrative and what interests you in this? What are you motivated by here?
We have 5 co-founders, and I'm sure each of us are going to have a different answer. For me personally, I just watch a lot of video. I'm a perpetual scroller. I don't think my English is terrible, but I actually learned English I grew up in Korea.
Okay.
So I learned English by watching a lot of American television and movies. So that's how I absorbed culture and language. And so it's very dear to me, and I understand how significantly impactful it is to consume content that has been created by incredible storytellers. So I'm not coming at this from a creator's perspective, but it really is from a consumer's viewer's perspective of wanting to have access always to stories that resonate with me.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing something unique here. I think just and in knowing that this wasn't your first language, but you've really mastered it, and you're mastering the culture and the interactions, and that really does come down to tone and timing and the different things that you're analyzing for or studying in these videos.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast, but there are some videos actually a lot of videos where you don't need the full multimodal context. Maybe all you need is speech to text, and you take the transcript and you just summarize what's being spoken. In many cases, though, that we deal with and our customers are dealing with, there's an importance of intonation, of nuance that's in the sound of how we speak.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be background sounds, like things that are happening in the background in sound as we're speaking. It could also be visual. What facial expression am I, showing? What's the body language? What's happening in the background? And so connecting all those dots, I'd say, is the essence of video understanding.
Yeah, but I think a really unique perspective you bring is just how much you gained from being able to watch these videos and learn what it really means to be North American or American and just get into this culture. So, how does that impact what you're bringing to the company?
Yeah. So I think it's it's a very human thing, right? It's a
Mhm.
very human thing to want to tell stories. It's a very human thing to want to hear and continue to consume great stories.
Mhm.
And it gives you humility, I would say, as a technology company that's working with companies, may not necessarily be based in Silicon Valley,
Yeah.
because the customers that we work with are, organizations that are building something entirely different. And so it requires a lot of humility, even, to be able to say, okay, I know nothing about the workflows of creating content, or, to search through large archives of evidence. This is what I have. We have the ability to understand video,
Yeah.
but I'm going to put that down.
Mhm.
And just please teach me and let me know what you do on a day-to-day basis. What do you do on the weekend? How do you actually get footage from a camera and actually log and maintain your spreadsheets of, logs of what's happening in your footage? How do you actually search for it? How do your creative teams access that content later on? What's the process to actually publish that, and so on? So that's just one example, but I think it's the curiosity and the understanding and the respect that kind of helped, I guess, us work really well with the key, I guess, lighthouse customers we had in the beginning.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems like you really, you really kind of connect to the purpose and the real underlying reason people are using their video in their business
Mhm.
and how it does connect with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, very cool.
Um, we went through here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just double checking because I know.
Sorry, I was all over the place.
No, it's good. It's good. So there's two last things that we want to go over before we let you go, Soyoung. In terms of yourself as a co-founder, one of five, I guess. I'd love it to share for those who are listening, who are watching, the purpose for you as an entrepreneur, as a founder, as someone who is really telling the story. What was the importance of coming to Web Summit Vancouver, and what is your ultimate goal here?
Yeah.
You would be like a home run.
Yeah. So my role as a co-founder is on the go-to-market side. So I lead the go-to-market organization, which is everything from growth and marketing, our developer relations work, to, of course, sales. So my goal number one is always, let's find customers,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger, broader purpose is thinking about how do we create more value for our users and customers. And you can't think about that as hey, here's a limited product and I'm going to go create value with this thing I have right now.
Mhm.
Because your product and the technology you have has to evolve very quickly to be able to expand the value you're creating. And then perhaps we can come back and talk about how do you capture that, right?
Mhm.
It's been incredibly inspiring to meet all these fellow founders, and not just founders, but also prospective customers. But to hear what's being built, what's new, what's something that we hadn't thought about. That's been very exciting for me.
Okay, it's amazing. There any final thoughts, advice, or recommendations that you could share with the other founders, the CEOs, or even business leaders who may be listening today? And you could take this whatever first thing comes to mind.
um, I'd say spend a lot of time with partners and customers you work with, build the relationship and trust that allows you to learn as much as possible, because that's will help you create more value as you're building, and try a lot of stuff, as in a lot of products, because this is such an exciting space right now.
Yeah.
New things being born every day. So the more you have hands-on experience trying new tools and applications, the more your perspective will expand, and it's very humbling every day.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, that's good advice in terms of really. I guess my key takeaway from your share is really stay present with your your partners, your clients, be in conversation with them, and as you and I talked before, at the beginning of the recording, is you're getting lots of ideas over here, but that's brilliant. But if your customers and your partners aren't aligned to it or asking for it, then at least you will stay on track, right? In terms of your focus and
Yeah.
your goals, personal goals and business goals.
Absolutely.
Before we let you go, we just want to share. So this is just a quick project of ours. We went to Collision last year. We did the same thing. We interviewed future narrators, people who are coming here, sharing their vision. And we created a book, podcast mini-series. So we just want to give that to you, future narrator. And excited to share that with you.
Thank you so much.
You are listening to the Business Leadership Podcast with Edwin Frondozo.